What's up guys, this is Dennis with Luxon Jewelry. Thank you so much for tuning in today. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys the 3 most popular millimeters when it comes to the Figarope chain design. So with that being said, let's get started. Alright guys, like always, I like to mention where these chains are manufactured, and these chains are made in Italy. They are solid sterling silver 925. And the point of this video is to give you a better visual on the millimeters and comparing them side by side together. Okay guys, one of the things I like to do is when it comes to millimeters, I always like to gauge the 3mm diamond cut rope chain as a measurement because I already know the analytics off this chain. I know how popular it is, and I know the millimeter how popular it is. I like to use this as a standard of measurement because of the stats. Jumping in right away, the 4mm Figarope chain I am wearing at 20 inches here. It is a clean millimeter on this chain design. It is subtle, it is clean, and it does have that form of uniqueness, and it does give a slight vibe of just formalness. It is definitely a very interesting chain design, even though the 4mm is more on the subtle side comparing it to a 5mm and a 6mm. The 4mm is still going to give you a very nice look, not only because it's sterling silver, and as we know, it is a very highly reflective metal, but the links are not so big where you're going to say this is definitely a statement piece. It is on the subtle side, and one of the most important things when it comes to this 4mm, it is going to stand out because of the uniqueness, because of the chain design. This is not something that you see being worn all the time on the streets. This is definitely a conversation starter, and it is definitely one of my favorites out of the 3mm when it comes to me wearing something subtle, clean, that is lightweight. Okay guys, so moving on, I am wearing a 5mm at 22 inches there in the middle, and so when it comes to moving up in millimeter, you're gonna notice the difference on the links. Obviously they're bigger, but you're also gonna see the weight increase as well, and the price. And one of the things about the links getting bigger is it translates to the shine, right? The diamond cuts are a lot more bigger. You get to see the links a lot more, meaning the sun is going to hit the chain and it's going to outshine the 4mm. And one of the things I like to do on the website is I do have the weights per gram per length on the website just to give you guys an estimate on how many grams are going to be on the neck. And so if you take a look at the 5mm, that gives you a really good idea on the comfort. And so going back to the 3mm rope chain standard measurement, the 5mm will still be a very doable chain. Yes, it is bigger, but it's doable when it comes to just measuring it back to the 3mm rope chain. Alright guys, and moving on, I am wearing a 6mm at 24 inches here, and again, the links get bigger, the shine increases, the weight increases, and it is definitely more of a presence chain when it comes to this 6mm. The presence that the chain is going to give you, even if you tuck it in or you bust it out and you have it out on the chest, the chain is going to show off. Now, another thing you guys can do is if you want more presence on the neck, you can begin to just layer chains. For example, if you want something that has a lot more presence than a 6mm, you can definitely get a 5mm at 22 inches and the 6mm at 24 inches, and it's just going to give you more presence on the neck. And as well, instead of the 5mm, you can get a 6mm, one at 22 and one at 24, to get more presence on the neck. Alright guys, so moving on to the movement of this chain, these are more of a rounded chain. They are not completely rounded like a typical rope chain because it does have those Figaro links on the side, but it is a chain that is going to be rolling on the neck throughout the day. It's not a flat link. You're not going to have to fix it like the flat links Figaro chain, the Cubalink chain. Those tend to move throughout the day and the links begin to flip back and forth, and you kind of have to fix it if you want to make it look nice. Not with the Figarope chain. It's going to move with you throughout the day, and that is just one of the benefits of the round chains. Now, moving on to the shine, one of the best things about a rope chain is the diamond cut. It is very rare for some of you guys looking for a rope chain to be a plain non-diamond cut rope chain, and so when it comes to the Figarope chains, it is a harder diamond cut, meaning the shine is going to hit more harder than the typical 3mm rope chains. So the diamond cut on the rope chain is going to shine really well. And now when the Figaro comes in, those are longer links. Those also are diamond cut, but it gives off that type of mirror shine when it comes to the Figaro links. And so combining it both together, even if natural light hits it or artificial light, the chain is going to shine from all different angles. Now moving on to the design, this is definitely a very sophisticated chain because you got two original classic chain designs. You got the rope chain and you got the Figaro chain. You combine these two together, you get a hybrid chain called the Figarope chain. And so this is definitely a conversation starter. It is a very nice chain design to add to your jewelry chain collection if you like to chain collect. When it comes to the weight of this chain, these are not extremely heavy chains because of the Figarope Figaro links, they are open, giving that gap between the chain. So the weight is going to be comfortable on the neck. It is not an extreme heavy chain design compared to a Byzantine chain. And so guys, when it comes to the 4mm, the 5mm, and the 6mm, you can definitely pull these off in many different scenarios. Like I mentioned before, a lot of you guys are scared on moving up millimeters, and that's okay. But I do like to encourage you guys to move up a millimeter or two and you begin to play with different scenarios. For example, if you are scared of getting a 5mm or a 6mm because they're too big, you can definitely pick one up and use it on special occasions where you're hanging out with your buddies, or maybe you're gonna go to a football game or watch a football game or basketball game at a friend's house, and that's just for you to play around with different millimeters. As some of you guys can testify, a lot of you guys start with the smaller millimeters and eventually a couple months pass by and you want something larger, you want something heavier on the neck, and that is just typical. And so that's just some encouragement for you guys. Either way, the 4, the 5, and the 6, they can be worn in many different scenarios. But in a nutshell, if you are more on the subtle side, get a 4mm. That is super clean, very classy look. The 5mm is going to give you a little bit more presence, and the 6mm is going to be a little bit more loud. But either way, whichever you like, the 4, the 5, or the 6, leave a comment below. Let me know which millimeter you prefer. And like always, if you can, put the fire emoji, the wave emoji in the comments below, just letting me know that you watched this video all the way to the end. Much love, respect, and I'll see you guys in the next video.